trees right here, so... Oh, he topped it. He cold topped it. Okay. Better get up. Yeah. 8 iron. Oh, he shanked it. Oh, look at that line, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, is he out of sync.
Welcome to the Bogey Boys Podcast.
Kevin and Mark here, as always. What's been happening, brother?
Not much, sir. Not much, sir. New month. How did dry January go?
It was very, very wet. Actually soaking, to be honest.
It's more difficult for us, isn't it? Because of the we both have our birthdays.
No, I nearly drowned at one point.
Me and you both, mate. Me and you both. How's things?
It's good, yeah. Do you see February starts on a Monday and then ends on a Friday or a Sunday, sorry? Like it's perfectly in sync, innit?
Yeah.
Just a bit of absolutely pointless information for you there.
Oh, 28 days, yeah. No, I didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah. What have you got planned for the month? What have you got planned for them 4 weeks?
Do you know what? I just keep looking and thinking if golf's back in March, fingers crossed, February's a short month. It feel like golf's around the corner.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That's the positive mindset I'm spinning on it.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing over these last couple of weeks. Just trying to work on that positive mind frame and getting ready for the golf season to begin. Itching to get back out there, to be honest.
And it's not even like we can go to a field because the weather's been atrocious.
I know, it's a joke. We don't get anything in this country, do we?
No, well, we did. We had a good summer last year, didn't we? So hopefully a bit more. That's the only thing global warming's actually good for, isn't it? The English summers are getting warmer.
It's not too far long before we go to Turkey either.
No. Well, if like I said there, I'm still hopeful of going last year. That's like my mindset. Like I'm still thinking that we'll definitely get there last April.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I'm very hopeful of going there. Like I'm just going. If we're allowed on the plane and we have to quarantine and we get back, I'm going either way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so, we can get out and get the golf clubs. Get the golf clubs out, have a game of golf. Let's get it cracking.
That's it.
Yeah.
Apart from that, steaming for golf to get back. In the news, a big news flash came up there. It's been 50 years since Alan Shepard played golf on the moon. Just to let you know.
Who is Alan Shepard?
I don't know, but he played golf on the moon.
Did he now?
So I have that one.
Yeah. Playing golf on the moon, yeah, interesting.
I seen that the clubs are like, he took clubs with them to space, do you know what I mean? I'm like, don't know what went on, to be honest.
Are we fact checking that?
I mean, you can if you want, but, you know. Like, I'm like, go on.
So how's the ball coming down?
I don't know, I think he got the longest drive.
It's still going now.
It's still going, yeah. No, we were doing them quotes about the professional routes. We've got a picture of like Townsend and his little quote.
Yeah.
I was saying to you about doing our ones, maybe you're not too into it, are you? But like a picture, I want a picture of me and I want a little quote saying, the best thing about being one of the Bogey Boys is the ability to chat absolute shit and then just shout fact check if you're not sure. Signed by Kevin Whitaker.
That's you to a T, that, you know.
Yeah.
No consequences.
But no, I think honestly, I've read a few articles on that one. He actually did play on the moon somehow.
Yeah. Okay. No, we'll give you that. Yeah.
Take me word for it.
I did.
In fact, Google it if you want, and then we'll see.
No. You can have it. You can have it. In other news, though, Bogey Boys news. Should we talk about Patreon?
Yeah, might as well.
So Kevin and I have decided, obviously as a bit of a support mechanism, we're putting out a lot of time into the podcast, a lot of effort. And the professional route's going well, the series are going well, everyone seems to be enjoying it. And as people will know, or maybe not know, Patreon is a support mechanism for podcasts. So if you want to support the podcast and support me and Kev on our journey as we try and grow the podcast and provide more content, then you can actually go to subscribe for £4 a month. It's as little as £1 a week. Probably about the same as a Mars bar these days, isn't it, Kev?
Yeah, or a Freddo, isn't it? the price of things.
The price of things,
no,
yeah. So,
like as you say, we put all the content out for free every week, and we keep everyone updated on the golf, and we're just inviting people to go, and if they want, they'll get early access to the professional route interviews and We're going to start doing a few coaching videos with David, a few like mindset videos and different things. And then as it grows, we're going to add more to it. So if you're on there early enough, then we'll give you once the next tier comes in, where it's a bit more expensive, we'll work our way out to give you the same content that you get for the same price for the first people that sign up and stuff. So it's just a thing that we're putting a lot of effort in, and it's a way to get a bit of support from everyone. And we're going to reinvest it back into the podcast and like get better mics and maybe get a studio so it enhances the viewer experience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And the idea of it as well, it's in addition to what Kev said there, it's going to be a one-stop shop platform for all content. So rather than going one place to get the podcast, then going to YouTube to get the video, it'll all be in one environment.
Yeah.
Like Kev said, you get early access. At the moment, some of the professional routes are on YouTube, but all professional route videos will be on Patreon, so you get access. And as Kev said, early access. And we're working with a number of different suppliers to try and provide some more things. Just getting a bit difficult at the moment with the whole COVID situation, but we will be getting on the course very soon, and then those on-course videos will also be uploaded to the Patreon, and our Patreon members will be given early access. Yeah, so for £4 a month, as I say, at the moment it's a support tool, just to give us that bit of support as we try and grow the podcast.
Yeah. And also, as we grow and we develop a few other things we've got up our sleeve, you'll be getting like discount codes and free merchandise and different stuff. So it's just we invite you to go and support us anyway. And if you do, you do. If you don't, then obviously you won't. There's no pressure on that one.
And on that note, let's go straight over to the European Tour, the Omega Dubai Desert Classic.
And it was a classic, wasn't it?
Paul Casey cleaning up.
Yeah, interestingly, become the only the fourth European to have 15 European Tour wins. It seems very low number to reach quite a low number as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's when you're comparing that to what the Americans have done on the PGA Tour and the numbers that they've got. You mean?
It just struck me as I can't believe only 4 people have won 15 events. Like you'd think there'd be more, but
I suppose it's a consistency level, especially now in this day and age. You've got a lot of the Europeans, when they do make a name for themselves, they fly straight over to the PGA Tour, don't they? So you look at Paul Casey, he's had 15 wins, but I mean he rejoined the European Tour in 2018, didn't he? Wanting to make a push for the Ryder Cup. But before that, when was the last time he actually played in Europe on a European Tour event? So to still muster up 15 victories is some going, isn't it?
I suppose, because maybe a couple of them have been like the co-sanctioned ones or whatever. But I suppose once you're on the European Tour, if you're growing up, as we just mentioned there in England, you've got the weather, you've got this. I know you can fly to the continent and get a bit better weather, but you could get your whole lifestyle changed and no language barrier and live in sunshine, live in Florida and, fly out to the different PGA tournaments, and the money's like, what, double, triple?
Yeah, it is.
Well, next week, it's, or the week after, sorry, the WGC, it's 10.5 million pairs.
Yeah.
Like, you're just not getting that at the British Masters, are you?
Unfortunately not, no. Doesn't quite, the pace doesn't quite stretch that much, no.
You know what I mean? So you've just you've got to follow, you've got a life to live, haven't you? You've got a lifestyle to uphold, and you want more money at the end of the day for doing the same thing.
Yeah, but it's good. This has been a good little stretch. I know the Middle East always opens up a lot of opportunities to get the PGA Tour players over, but it's been a good turnout, hasn't it? Because I know Paul Casey, and we'll come on to the Saudi invitation towards the end of the show, but he wasn't going to play, was he, in the Saudi, and he's changed his tune because of something to do with the
Ryder Cup-itis.
No, it was to do with like how they treat people in the country.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I seen he had a bit of a bee in his bonnet over the not getting points on the PGA Tour for the Ryder Cup.
No, so Paul Casey, he come out and said that some of the human rights violations that the government have committed, that he'd just give this one a miss. But since then, he said, although he wasn't comfortable in the past, he believes sport has the power to affect change, and he's listened to the Saudis' commitment to this and their vision for the future. So that's why he's decided to play in it this time, but he's never played in it before.
Yeah, all right, Paul, mate. All right. You've listened to the same Saudi commitment as Dustin Johnson and Bryson DeChambeau have listened to. It's called dollar bills, mate.
He wants that Ryder Cup spot, and he's
I don't really like how they treat people. Not going there, not playing there. I've just won, and then I'll go turn up at the Saudi, get another couple of million, and I'll think they'll treat people better then once they give me money. Come on, Casey, you're fooling nobody. Well, not me anyway.
What a tournament for him though. 67, 70, 64, 70.
It was a class act, wasn't he?
Oh, amazing, yeah. Amazing. Really good watch on Sunday, how composed. I mean, those putts on, was it 15 and 16? Those clutch, the par 3 made that putt for bogey from about 20 foot, and then he made that par.
Oh, when he fluffed it. He fluffed it. Fluffed his first chip.
Yeah. 15 and 16 or 16 and 17. I can't remember.
Yeah,
off the top of my head,
you go up and down for bogey. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable stuff. But what you were mentioning there last week about Rory McIlroy shooting a 64 in the first round, and he always follows up with an average of 73. So I kept a lookout because there was a 64 in round 1. Richard Stern, 64 leading after day 1. Do you know what he followed up with? 74.
Did he? That's
74, yeah. But he wasn't the only one. It went the other way as well. So there was Keik Katayama. He started with a 65, and then he had a 72, which is not as bad. But then even the other way, Tyrrell Hatton started, as we know, with a 76, looking like he's going to miss the cut. Then he comes back on the Friday with a 64. And then Lucas Herbert, he starts with a 74, looking like he could possibly miss the cut at 2 over, and then has a 66, 6 under to make the cut comfortably.
That's all about, like Hatton's championship winning mentality, and like people who are like, in your fuming, you want to make the cut, you want to make a good impression. You're like, your mindset changes. You're like, come on, I've got to get out there, I've got to smash it, make the cut, play well. Whereas you go to bed with your 8 under and you start panicking about missing the cut, or you're like, oh my God, I've had a worldie there. And then as we said last week, you're 4 holes in and you're 3 over instead of being 2 under, and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm 6 shots worse here. And you're like, what?
How's this happened? Yeah.
Snowballs off.
It's interesting because we're doing a professional route and speaking to a number of professional golfers. Be interesting to understand if a golfer's in that mindset and understand how that Thursday night mind frame is going to bed. So you're going to bed leading the tournament. What are you thinking? Do you know what you're thinking?
Yeah, but you know what? It'd be interesting. Not interesting to find out. It'd be interesting if they admit it, because remember I asked Chris Hansen. Like, obviously, when you were going to bed, all he spoke about the whole episode was money, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then I was like, when you go to bed, are you actually thinking, if I win this, I've got $250,000. If I come second, I've got 100 grand. Like, and you're an overnight leader. And he was like, no. I never really thought about the money. And I was thinking, but you did.
Everybody thinks about the money. That's what it's all about. No. That's what it's all about. But I just thought that was an interesting point because you mentioned it last week there about Rory, and then when I seen the 64 from Stern, I thought, I wonder what he does tomorrow. And then I just watching the golf, and I was thinking, here we go again. So this just must be like, because you see someone shoot a 68, and the next day they'll shoot a 70, and they'll keep it close. But the margins between those 64s and then the following day, they never seem to follow that up. I mean, the only example of a follow up there was Paul Casey. He shot a 64 on the Saturday, and then followed up with a 70. So he still shot. He's
got the 14 other experiences to draw from in his brain. I don't know if he's led most times that he's won or whatever, but as he's going in, and he's got that championship mentality, hasn't he? Like the same.
He's in total control, wasn't he?
Yeah. But it's one of them as well. You know, see, like on the Thursday, is an interesting one that you could. Someone will do the study, not me, because it's effort alert. But it'd be interesting to see the correlation between if you're out early on the Thursday and have a good round, and then you're out late on the Friday, because you've got a massive time gap to your next tee time. The more time you've got, so if you're out late on the Thursday and early on the Friday, you've only got a short amount of time. You wake up and you're back at it, sort of thing. So I wonder if that plays a difference in the 66, 64, 73 saga.
So you're thinking going the other way, the ones who start low and then go higher.
Yeah, so if you have a like the shorter gap between the tee times probably equals better performance, I think, because you've got less time to stew on your mistakes and stew on what you've done, or stew on anything really. Do you know what I mean?
It's an interesting one. Yeah, let's keep an eye on it. Let's definitely keep an eye on it as the season unfolds.
Would that be an absolute load of baloney then? At the same time,
it could be. No, but it's rational thinking, isn't it? You know,
hey, people do statistics and all sorts of factors affecting things, don't they? So you might it might be.
Someone might be done the work for us. Let's hope. what Google's
Hopefully,
there
yeah.
for. Let's hope so anyway.
Just speaking about still on the Dubai, you got to see McIntyre there. He's obviously won this season, hasn't he? Or last season, sorry, was in Cyprus, and then he comes out and he's level with Casey, and then he just shows his inexperience and his immaturity, and just missing 2-footers and just crumbling away and just.
Well, he birdied the first, didn't he?
Yeah, he had no charge, did he?
I know, no charge. He made it. I mean, Casey was in total control, but when you're playing with someone of that caliber as well, surely that's got something to do with it. If you can see Casey's not missing a shot, he's not making no mistakes. So then does that change your mindset as an inexperienced pro? You've been there, you've won on tour, but the Cyprus Open, there was no top players in the world playing there. No disrespect to the tournament in itself, but it's a different ball game when you're playing with the big fish, aren't you?
Yeah, there's no excuse for missing a 2-footer though, really, is there?
No, we've seen that a lot though. We'll come on to it later. But you see Hovland on the PGA Tour as well.
It's crazy, really, isn't it, when you think about it?
It is a mind blip. It's got to be.
Well, there's a few of the ones, who's a bit hit and miss. I've noticed Laurie Canter. Like he had that 60 in the Italian Open, come second. He had another couple of good rounds, then a couple of missed cuts. Then he's flying again at the in Dubai. He just seemed very volatile, doesn't he?
It must be tough though. It must be tough though. You know what I mean? I do get what you're saying, but I think the difference between your Dustin Johnsons, your John Rams, your Justin Thomases is that they're doing that week in, week out. It'd be interesting to see like when Dustin Johnson shoots a 64 on a Thursday, what does he do on the Friday? Because I can guarantee you he won't be shooting 74, 75s on the Friday. No way. Well,
you got to remember though, he doesn't even remember what he done the day before.
Yeah. We did get that information.
to quote Big Swafty.
That's it. So that's the difference. Yeah, you're right about Laurie Canter, top quality player. Probably one of them that is the type of player that could break out of the European Tour and onto the PGA like so many others before him. But you're right. It's that consistency and trying to maintain that ability to shoot those low scores for 4 days, and even not even 4 days, for 2 or 3 days to keep you. And that's what he seems to be doing.
That's it. But he's like miscut, second, fourth, miscut, fourth. It's literally the definition of hit and miss.
It does remind me though of the Tommy Fleetwood journey though. But Tommy Fleetwood's doing it now, where he's having 2, sometimes 3 good rounds, and then 1 or 2 bad rounds in a 4-round tournament where he's not competing. So an example this week again, 8 under through 2 rounds, 1 over for the weekend. 8 under with the ability to go on and charge and win, and then he doesn't do it.
Even on that 8 under, like he's deadly from 30, 40 foot, and he's like, you'd feel happy, you'd feel safe standing in the hole when he was putting from 5 foot, wouldn't you? They wasn't going to hit you.
It's a struggle from that distance for him, isn't it? He's you're right. I mean, tee to green, a joy to watch. Do you know what I mean? Every single time, and then
unbelievable.
Even them, like you say, distance control and them long putts and holing some of them long putts, again, unbelievable. And I think that's where that is it aim point or point aim. I can never get that right. Aim point.
Yeah. It's whatever you want it to be.
Okay, there we go. So it seems as though it's working well for him for judging your distance, getting your line from the longer putts. But when you're in them shorter distances, we all know as golfers, you need to be assertive, don't you? You need you need to pick a line and just stroke it confidently. And if it misses, then okay, you've misread it or you've hit it too hard, whatever. But if you're thinking too technical on a 5, 6, 4 footer, I just don't see how that helps anybody. I could be wrong. I don't know the science behind it, but I just, as a fan watching, you're thinking, you look at a lot of golfers who do that aim point and they try and get it exactly right and do the exact specifics. And it's like, should that be more of a distance control, a longer putt, trying to get the measures rather than a shorter putt, because you're taking into consideration little undulations in the green that might not take effect?
Really, he should be that confident from 3 foot, really, that he just bangs them in.
Yeah, well, look at Tiger.
Exactly.
I mean, you can't compare anyone to Tiger, I suppose, but look at Tiger. He's known under pressure for just sinking those even 8 footers, 8, 6, 7 footers. You know, every time he's picking the line and he's just rolling them in. And it's not as easy as that, obviously, but you got to try and make it. But
if you're that confident over your 3, 4 footers, you're not bothered about hitting your 10, 12 footers 4 foot pass, because you know you've got the one coming back. Like he seems to be dead weighting his 5 footers.
Yeah,
and missing them.
But as a fan watching that, you're looking and without knowing the science in the background to it, you're looking and you're thinking, is that because there's too much going on? Like there's not that.
Yeah, of course, it is, 1,000,000%.
There can never be that much break in a 3-4 footer. Surely it's only ever going to be inside, maybe just outside, or your pace will take care of it. So to do the aim point and to try and understand what's happening and get it exactly right, it's just, I think there's just too much going on, which could
obviously the greens that they're playing on are a touch firmer and a touch more undulating, aren't they? But still, they should be used to them if they're playing Augusta, and then surely the Dubai Desert Classic doesn't compare to that in undulations and stuff like that. So
no,
something's got to change anyway. Again, we've said since day dot.
He'll prove us wrong eventually.
No, he will. But imagine he just changed his grip to normal and then just barnstormed the tournament.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. But it's coming though, because as much as we're talking about Tommy there, he's finished tied 17th this week and he finished 10th last week. So that's a top 10 and a top 20 in the first two events. It's not terrible.
I know he's not there to make up the numbers though, is he? Like he's in the world top 20. Like he was in the world top 10. Should be pushing world top 5. Like he wants to be winning tournaments.
Yeah, it goes back to that one round, doesn't it? Or them couple of mistakes which are costing him as we're going in. Because even in Abu Dhabi last week, he was third going into the final round, wasn't he? A couple back, and then and then ended up finishing 10th, poor final round. So his time will come. Let's hope he's saving it for Augusta.
Yeah.
And he gets that one turned over. But no, a great event, as we say. Paul Casey, unbelievable. Just looking at some of his statistics as well before we move on to the Farmers Insurance.
No, it wouldn't be a Bogey Boys podcast without a few Mark Loughlin statistics, would it?
Well, yeah, because there's a big talking point coming in the Farmers Insurance. But just talking Paul Casey more than anything, like Hatton last week, just over 300 yards on the driving distance, and he hit 54% of fairways, pretty similar to what Hatton did last week. But the most important thing and the biggest difference for me was his strokes gained tee to green, and he was first, and his strokes gained approach to the green, he was second. So from tee to green, I mean, we watched them all week, unbelievable. But the biggest surprises I mentioned there is putting. He was 54th in the field for strokes gained putting and had 48 putts per round. Even though the greens weren't the best, that's still not the best putting statistics for someone to win by a large margin, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah, so they were the only stats I pulled with Casey, because I just thought it'd be an interesting point that obviously he's getting it off the tee. He's hitting greens, 75% of greens in regulation. It's interesting you speak about Laurie Cantor there, because he was first in greens in regulation. Talk about how good he is.
What percentage?
83.3%.
It's that Adam Scott one from the other week baffles me still, you know.
Does
97 or something. What was it, 93?
Yeah, I think he missed, was it 4 greens in 4 rounds, yeah? Or 5 greens in 4 rounds, yeah.
Mental.
No. Got some stuff on Adam Scott to come as well.
Nice.
In the next Farmers. That'll bring us nicely onto the Farmers, actually. Bit of interesting Saturday night entertainment for us, wasn't it?
I know. But you got to remember, I can't get over it, mate.
Patrick Reed.
Exactly.
Let's talk about some. I
cannot deal with it, you know.
Well, what's your biggest problem with it?
He's a fat knobhead.
Okay, so take his personality out of it. What's your problem?
I don't like his face.
Again, take your personality out of it. What's your problem?
He won the Masters when I went.
No, but obviously I know. Obviously,
do you know what? All hatred aside for him, like, he doesn't do himself any favours, does he?
No.
Like, even all the boys on tour, Lanto Griffin, come out. Well, should we talk through what happened in case anyone doesn't know?
Yeah, okay, let's talk. So on the 10th hole on Saturday, Patrick Reed, it's his tee shot into the bunker on the left, plays his second shot to the green. It's a par 4 and hooks it and misses it left into thick rough. Rough. It was wet. They had a storm on day 1. Was it day 2? Was it? They had a storm anyway. So a lot of rain. It was wet and windy. The ball has bounced in the rough and then sat down in the rough. He's walked over. He's asked his playing partners en route to there, en route.
Did he?
Ball. En route to the ball, he asked his playing partners whether they seen it bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
I feel like you're about to stick up for him, yeah.
No. Maybe there's parts that I am going to stick up for him, but it's justifiable. But he's asked his playing partners. But this isn't a stick up for him. This is an issue, because before you know where your ball is and before you know whether your ball is embedded, you're asking whether it's bounced, which means in your mind,
he's always premeditated.
That's it. You're already thinking in your head, this looks thick over here. What can I do to try and make this better? So that is a big issue. So you need to wait, assess the situation, and then deal with it there and then. So going back to what happened, so the ball has bounced, and then he's marked his ball, he's picked it up, and he's calling the fact that it's embedded and he wants it to get so embedded, plugged live.
Yeah, he marks the ball, picks it up, then calls the rules official over, and he's poking his finger in the hole.
He's poking his finger, but he takes the ball and then he brings the ball back to his bag. He doesn't put the ball back; he brings it back to his bag.
Yeah, and he's got it in his hand the whole time as he's bent over, talking to the rules official, poking in the floor, saying it embedded. But because the ground is wet, as you said, there was a storm. You could actually penetrate the ground with your finger.
You could also, before you pick it up, push the ball into the ground. There's
exactly. It's like, because I don't know if he tweeted or someone tweeted this thing saying like Rory McIlroy done the same thing on 18, and I've seen the Rory McIlroy interview, and he's literally standing there. God's honest says, like, my ball was plugged when I got there, and on the cameras it bounced.
And that's what it goes back to. It goes back to the integrity of the player. Patrick Reed is a known cheat. Yeah.
Like oh my God, they done a replay of the Bahamas on his thing, saying like, oh, it's him against America sort of thing. Like, they call him Captain America when he's hated by most people. It's mad. But like, anyway, and then they showed him at the Bahamas, and he does it twice. Scrapes the sand and scrapes the sand twice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
And then you think like, oh my God, I've been caught cheating. It's like 2 or 3 times. You'd think that he would.
It's about bending the rules, isn't it? So like Rory McIlroy, as honest as they come. So if Rory McIlroy walks over to his ball and says, "Look, lads, it's embedded. I'm going to take a drop." You'll go straight away, no problem. Or you'll say, "Let's have a little look first," and they'll go, "Yeah, no worries. You go and have a look."
Do you know what? If I was playing with Rory and he said it, I wouldn't even walk over. I'd just take your word for it. If Patrick Reed said it, I'd be like, stand 5 yards back from your ball. I want to get over there first before you. You know what I mean?
And that's down to his playing partners as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? His playing partners should have been over there and assessing the situation, especially if they're leading with him. It's a Saturday, so the groups are determined based on where you are in the tournament. So they're up there, they're competing against them. Surely you don't want him bending rules to his own advantage.
No.
So anyway, going back to the story, he marks his ball, he picks it up. That's the first issue, the fact that he's picked it up without calling the rule official over. The rule official needs to come over and assess it as it is, because how can that rule official determine whether that ball's embedded if the ball's not there? So when you mark the tee, how does the rule official know that was marked? The left-hand side, the right-hand side of the ball, behind the ball, in front of the ball. How does he know where it is? He's basing it on the honesty and the integrity of Patrick Reed.
Yeah. Who's a known criminal, by the way.
That's what it goes back to.
But I don't just mean a criminal on the golf course. I mean, like, when I was at the Masters, and obviously Patrick Reed won. When I went to the hospitality after, this woman, like, who's like sorted all the events every year for the Masters, she was telling us that she was like, the people who own Augusta will be absolutely raging that Patrick Reed's won, because he went to Augusta Uni and he actually got, or one of the colleges over there, and he actually got threw out of the team and of the golf thing for stealing money out of his roommates' drawers in the college.
Yeah, statement. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, bit of a scoop on him there.
Amazing. So he actually is a thief, yeah. But
he's an actual thief. Do you know what I mean? So
that's I mean, there's a couple of issues for me. Number one, why is he thinking about whether the ball's bounced before it's landed in there while he's walking up? Is it what's going on in his mind? Why are you not waiting? Because when he gets up there, for all he knows, it could have rolled out into a rough, into a nice lie, or a patch down, but he could have had a perfect lie. Do you know what I mean? So that's the first part. Then secondly, when you mark on the tee, you lift the ball slightly, you check to see if it's in bed, and you put the ball right back. Then you call the rule official over, and you leave it, and you step away from it, and you say, "Look, this is the situation. I believe the ball is plugged, embedded, however you want to call it. And then I need to take me relief from that." Then the rules official can come over, see where it's lied. He can also roll it. He can feel it, and he can say either yes, that is, or no, it isn't. The fact that he's taking it out, then firstly, you don't know where that ball originally was laying on the ground. Yeah. He could have, when he's down there with his fingers, he's poking his fingers in, he's pushing, he could have pushed the ball down. There's a lot of things that he could have done, which you'll never be able to prove. But it's not the fact that he hasn't cheated because he's followed the rules, he's done what he needed to do, but it's about how he's done that.
Mate, it's premeditated. Like, he should be thrown in jail.
Take your personality out. Take the personality out of it.
But look, Faldo was like, well, I just don't know what's going on. Maybe in this sport, we're just trying to give them like the benefit of the doubt and make the rules run quicker and just move on and just go with it. And I was like, well, not really, no, because why would we have referees? And like, there should be like, the ref should be more, there should be a ref on his bag.
Yeah.
Or something needs to be done. Like, I think what he's done there is worse than what Justin Thomas done.
Yeah.
For integrity and for that goes against everyone's inclusion culture, surely.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a good, it's a valid point. It is. I mean, even the players know you're a seasoned pro. That was his 9th PGA Tour victory. That he's an unbelievable golfer. He's won a green jacket. He's won the tournament by 5 shots.
He's a major champion.
He's won the best major you can win. Yeah. He's got a green jacket. He's part of golfing history, but he's going to be remembered in golfing history for these things and not for his achievements.
Well, Lanto Griffin said 99%. Well, yeah, like it is what it is, but 99.9% of the players would have went the other way and like not took a drop because of the integrity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. If you're not sure, he's trying to get his advantage But I suppose it goes back to what Chris Hansen said on his podcast. It's like going out there and you've got to be selfish. You're competing. If the rules allow you to do that, then even though the integrity says no, don't do it, and the spirit of the game says do not do that, if the rules are allowing it, unfortunately, not everybody is so spiritual and so integral that they're going to follow those rules. They're going to try and bend them in their favour. And yeah, that is an arsehole thing to do. But at the same time, if there's nobody stopping that, like Nick Faldo said, are we just giving them the benefit of the doubt until somebody comes in and says, or that rule gets changed to say, if you believe your ball's plugged and it's questionable, which that definitely was because it was in thick rough, then you mark your ball, you have a look yourself, you step away and you call somebody over. You do not move. You
shouldn't, like Xander Schauffele said, like, I wouldn't touch my ball without a rules official coming over and letting me know what I can do first, just in case.
That is the biggest problem. That's the biggest problem. The fact that he has lifted the ball, not even just lifted it to check it, he's lifted it. Then he started putting his fingers in there and messing with it. And then he's moved away. Then he's still got hold of the ball. And then he's called the rule official over. The rules officials come over. He's sticking his fingers in it. And then he's going, yeah, take your drop. And then he gets up and down.
But like he's like, remember they used to have a rule where you had one finger and you roll it out to identify it and you put it back in?
Yeah.
Like...
You don't have to roll it out like that. Now you can pick it up to identify it and place it back down.
That's what they used to have one finger roll or something, didn't they, remember? Did you ever hear about that? Fact check.
I'll go for it, yeah. I mean, it may be.
Because I'm pretty sure we have to get PGA professional David Goscombe to clarify this rule.
Let's get verification on that. But
another one that the showstopper said, Xander Schauffele, talk amongst the boys isn't great, but he's protected by the tour.
I know, that's interesting quote, isn't it? What's going on there?
Well, like, what did he do? Just go home and sit with his trophy and think, I won that, but I cheated. Like you won by 5. You didn't have to do that. You could have been getting more integrity, more praise on your game, more everything.
Listen, right? He comes out after that round. They're waiting to do his interview. He's on the phone to somebody. I don't know if you've seen it. He's on the phone for ages. So he's obviously getting some form of information about what he should do, how he should go about it. Then they wait for his interview after he finishes his round. He comes and does his interview. And then once he's finished that interview, as part of that interview, he turns around and he's like, yeah, well, the rules official said I've done everything by the book. It was perfect. And it's like,
he come over to me and said, Patrick, you done everything right. Patrick, and I was like thinking, no, you didn't.
Yeah, why? Yeah, exactly.
Why? So how come one rules official say you done everything right, and everyone else on the tour says you didn't?
Okay, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. My closing statement on this for P. Reed is he a role model for golf? No. Is he a selfish prick? Yeah. Is he an unreal golfer? Yeah. That is the only way that you can sum him up. Do you know what I mean? He's not a role model. No one's going to look up to him. Do you know what I mean? He's not cheated. He's just not an integral golfer. So then that goes on the selfish prick model. Yeah, he is very selfish. He's all about himself and about his legacy. But unfortunately, in this sport and with social media the way it is and the way things get passed around now, you're not going to be remembered in this sport as a legacy of being an unbelievable golfer, which you are. You're going to be remembered for being a prick.
My closing statement is, I feel everyone on the tour should call him Fat Pat, or he should be thrown in jail for a month.
It wasn't all just about him, though.
No.
Just closing off other notables at the Farmers. Tony Finau finished third in the American Express.
You might as well just put his name in the top 5, mightn't you? Honestly, like.
I know. Finished second again, but he's in Saudi. Are we thinking Tony Finau wins Saudi 3-2-1? No.
Yeah, you never know, do you?
I know. But yeah, so he's in Saudi this week. Another solid week for Europeans on the PGA Tour. Ryder Cup here. The Swede Norlander playing really well. Tied second, 9 under. Victor Hovland, which we've spoke about again, 9 under, tied second.
Missing 2 footers though again.
I know.
What's the crack with that?
I know. He's come on leaps and bounds. Still only young. He's definitely gonna. He's over in Saudi this week as well. So be interesting to see how they all get back on in a different field. But yeah, so then you got Ram, Molinari, and McIlroy all finishing inside the top 20 this week. So
do you know John Ram must not know about his new the spinners new wedges can get, because he hits a shot on 18 and I was laughing my head off. He hits it and he's fuming like that and it bounces to the back of the green and spins like that, and then he's like looking and he looks back and it's gone to about that. It's gone to about a foot.
That slope on 18 was heavy though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Goes right down to the thing.
But I think maybe he was just fuming out his whole round, like his whole. Do you know what I mean? He's there to win, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, did you see on his last shot of the tournament in 218, straight into the water? It landed about 10 yards short of the green. Don't know why.
That's the one. It's the shot after that. That's why he must be raging then, because on 18 on the last day.
Yeah, because he's put it. Yeah, he put it.
And he makes a 5.
Yeah, he did. He gets up and down. Yeah, after his drop.
Yeah, that's the shot I was talking about. Yeah, you know what? Like, there's a major fact check moment coming up here, because I seen that Will Zalatoris has had something like 15 top 20s in a row. Right?
It wouldn't surprise me.
So then, because I watched it on the PGA Tour, wrote it down, thought that's a nice note to talk about. So then I just started looking, and then I seen like he missed the cut like a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking, have I been bullshitted there? Have I just took that down wrong?
There was a statistic about his Corn Ferry tour where when he was playing on the Corn Ferry, he had so many top 5 or top 10 finishes. So maybe leading up to the one that he missed the cut, he might have had so many top 20s. Yeah. But he's always up there
and thereabouts, and he's quality.
Yeah, he only came onto the scene last year, didn't he? After playing so well on the Corn Ferry, and he got a few invites. And
yeah, but there was a mad dropout exemption thing that happened, wasn't it? We spoke about it last year.
We did, yeah. That's it. But just before we move on from the Farmers Insurance, I just want to talk about Jordan Spieth.
Oh yeah.
2 rounds in, he's playing with Phil Mickelson. Eagles the 6th. So he's 4 under. I think at the time he was like 3 or 4 shots back. Then he finishes his last 12 holes at +4 over for those last 12 holes and misses the cut on the button. But playing
Where's he gone?
But playing with Phil Mickelson has finished birdie to finish 1 under to make the cut, and they're playing together. So if your mind's not already doing spins, when you're thinking, oh my God, I've just finished 4 over in the last 12 holes there to miss the cut by 1. And Phil, who I'm playing with, I just hold a 10-footer on 18 to make the cut. What's your feelings going off, considering everything that's going on with him at the moment with his golf game?
What would you do? I think really he should be speaking to Phil about that.
Yeah.
So what was your thought process when you knew you had to do this?
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally
open up about his thought process and be like, you know what, I was actually thinking so negatively there, because it's not as golf. Like, he can make the birdies. It's obviously mental, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is the problem. Yeah, it is. It's to be 4 under in the tournament when the leader's at 7 under on a Friday afternoon with 12 to go. You're thinking, do you know what? I'm back here, and then all of a sudden, 2.5 hours later, you're on the flight back home because you've missed the cut. And it's like for your mind to spin so much. Like, I mean, I don't know whether he is thinking like that, but you've got to be having you're 3 off the lead, 4 off the lead, 12 to go, and then you miss the cut. It's like, what's just happened to me there? And then that just, again, it goes back to where has this 2014, 15, 16 Jordan Spieth gone?
It's absolutely mental, isn't it?
It is. But hopefully we'll see him back soon. He's playing again. I think he's playing again at the Waste Management, so we'll be seeing more of him, and hopefully he can bring it back.
I wonder, like, obviously he's making cuts and he's doing it a little bit, but like if he carries on like this, he loses card.
Yeah, well, he's going down the rankings, and
he's got exemption. Obviously, come from the like for the how many years? I have to look into that. What the exemption to get for winning majors?
For winning majors, I'm not sure, but I know
10
for winning
years now.
You get 2 years from the following year when you win a PGA Tour event. So
yeah,
his last when was his last win? Was it 18? Did he win the Open in 18 or 17?
16, I don't know.
Was it? We'll fact check that. I can't remember.
Fact check that stuff.
But yeah, so Jordan Spieth, yeah, it's a slippery slope. I mean, if he doesn't have any wins in the next couple of years, and he keeps missing cuts, he could see himself off the PGA Tour.
And like, that's a travesty, isn't it? Really.
That would probably be the one of the biggest falls from grace you've ever seen in golf history, I think.
17, he won the Open.
17 Open champion, yeah. So where are we now? 21. That's 4 years. If you get a 5-year exemption, he's only really got 12 months, 18 months to sort his head out.
Sort his head out, though. But like 15, look at that 15, man. He's won the Masters, won the come second in the PGA, and won the US Open. Like,
this is it. It's like a
where's he gone?
The thing is, though, at that time, is he what, 21, 20 years of age?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he's being pipped to be the next Tiger Woods and to come up and try and break Tiger's records. And can he get more than 14 majors? And can he get more than 15 majors? And then can he break Jack's record? And then all of a sudden, we're talking about the potential of him losing his PGA Tour card the next couple of years.
I mean, we're talking about it. Like, I don't know if anyone else is talking about that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe not. But
I've seen something when he was talking about when he was playing. When he was a college kid, wasn't he? And he's playing in, I can't remember what year it was, but he was 16 anyway. He's playing on the PGA Tour. He got a start.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
and he was just fearless. He said that was because he was the chronic with the Federty talks to Spieth.
Yes,
and it was like he was just saying how fearless he was and how much he didn't care, and like how much he used to just like whack putts and he'd go in, and he just was, his mindset was totally fearless. And as he got older, he's got like more scared.
Well, this is it.
It's obviously
it goes back to the mind.
Isn't it?
It does go back to the mind, yeah. That's it. It's always the mind, isn't it? Because you're an individual playing an individual sport. So at any point, one shot can be the difference to making a cut, missing a cut, winning a tournament, losing a tournament. So you've always got to stay on track and stay on top of your game, haven't you? And that's a lot of pressure to put on your mind for a 4.5 hour, 5 hour round, 4 days on the run.
Yeah, here's one for you. So if you win the Masters, you're basically involved in the Masters for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life. Yeah. Okay.
Like if you win the British Open, you're involved until you're exempt until you're 60.
Okay. Yeah.
And you win and you get exempt for the Masters in the US and the PGA for 5 years. If you win the PGA, you're in it for life, and then you get the Masters and do the 3 for 5 years. So it's got a bit of time. You can play the he'll just be playing the majors soon.
He's just going to be turning up, yeah. That's what I mean, yeah. Can't play. He'll be playing Corn Ferry every week, and then he's going to turn up to the Masters.
Yeah, and you get 5-year exemption on the PGA Tour as well. 5
years. So 2000. Is that the Open from the Open?
That's just a major. That
Any major, get your 5 years. Okay. So
Yeah.
so 17 was his last major, so that 5 years is up next year.
Yeah. So imagine we spoke about that in the next couple of years. He's just making up the numbers in majors like Jordan Spieth. Do you know what I mean? Mental.
I know.
Mental.
Well,
But let's hope he doesn't. Let's hope he pulls it out. I like Spieth.
In contrary, and in contrary to that as well, it could be one of the greatest comebacks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're thinking, imagine he's got 3 or 4 tournaments before he loses his cards, and then he wins one, and then he's all back to normal.
Well, especially if he listens to this and we ignite his fire.
Obviously, he's listening to this. Jesus. Birdie bogey bust that time. Let's go for it. You go first in your birdie, or is it my turn this week?
I think it's me.
Go on then. Let's have it.
I think you might have the same birdie, so I'm going to steal it.
I probably have, yeah.
My birdie is getting to speak and interview Charlie Hull this week.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good insight, brilliant.
The only addition to my birdie there was the fact that we had Charlie Hull and Hudson Swafford back to back. Great insights for the listeners. So
PGA Tour, LPGA Tour, Stolam Cup, like it's interesting to when you speak to people asking the goals, and she's talking about winning majors, and it's like you just realise the caliber of player that she is, and she's only 24. So I'm looking forward to everyone hearing that one, to be honest.
Yeah, no, get birdie, same, couldn't agree more. That's our birdie for the week.
I knew that, I thought that. That's why I wanted to go first.
You get it in first. It's amazing for the podcast. It's amazing for the listeners. Obviously, people will listen to that and hopefully be inspired by it, because I know I was. I know you was.
1,000,000%.
You listen to these stories. It just makes you want to go upstairs, grab your golf clubs, go on the course, and just hit some balls. It's just amazing stuff.
No, exactly.
Shall I go first, the bogey?
Go on then.
So we spoke earlier about Patrick Reed, didn't we? About and about what his playing partner should have done. So my bogey this week is Robbie Shelton and Will Gordon as playing partners not doing anything about that situation. You know the way you said before, you would walk over and you would say, "Whoa, you step back. What are you doing picking your ball up? This is a competition. That's not the rules of golf. Have a bit of beef with them or whatever there and then." Literally, they've done nothing. They said, "Did you see it bounce?" No. Well, you shouldn't just say no. You should be over there and you should be saying to them, "Well, no, I didn't, but what's the situation? What's up?" Do you know what I mean? Because you know what Patrick Reed's like.
They're probably just focused on their own game, aren't they? Not thinking about Reed cheating, really.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what I mean? So it's sad, isn't it? But my bogey is Reed cheating. That is my bogey, just Reed cheating. Yeah, it's just a sour one, isn't it?
He didn't cheat though.
All right.
He didn't.
Well, why do I want him sent to jail then?
No, but I'm not just saying that. But he didn't break any official rules.
No,
because you can't. Only he will know if he put his fingers in there or he pushed the ball down. So in the rules of golf, and this is why it gets a bit fickle.
Reed cheating himself and the rest of the field by manipulating the rules of golf. Then is to the point of breaking point where it's just about to snap, but then you just don't do it. Like Brooks Koepka's driver. He manipulated the rules of golf to the extent of Brooks Koepka's driver shaft on that drive.
You've just hold a 50-footer to save par there.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you should talk about shafts there, because that's my bust.
What is it?
Adam Scott using the Autoflex, but not just that, because I love the Autoflex. You know, I love the Autoflex. I've used it. I've drove a green using it for the one and only time that I've played with it.
I'll save it one shot.
And it went where I wanted to. It's that old chestnut, isn't it? You have a try or something, you hit it, you buy it, and then it goes nowhere for the rest of it. So it's obviously nothing to do with them using the shaft and things. It's the statistics that sit behind the shaft. So it's the Bogey Boys podcast. Mark loves a statistic. So is distance this week, and altitude we can take that into
altitude.
Account. Altitude,
though.
Okay. Altitude. Bloody hell.
I think you've mixed altitude and Autoflex there into one word.
There we go. Autotude.
Yeah, I don't like your attitude.
Okay. Distance this week, 294.6 yards. Distance at the Sony Open, 326 yards. And like we say, altitude will because the distance was further, but that is 30 yards.
Yeah.
So
well, maybe what was the fairways though?
Well, this is what I'm coming on to next. So accuracy this week, 24 out of 56 fairways, tied 68th. accuracy at the Sony Open was 37 out of 56 fairways, tied 18th. Again, could it be maybe wider fairways, maybe more difficult. So,
yeah, Torrey Pines is major setup in it, like, so it's a little bit different, but still.
The main point of that is greens and regulation. So we spoke, didn't we, about the Sony Open. 57 out of 72 greens he hit, tied 15th for the greens and regulation. Greens and regulation this week, 45 out of 72, tied 53. So the reason why it's me bust is because I love this driver so much. I just expected for him having that in his bag, he was going to win the tournament. That's what I was waiting for. And then I look at these statistics and I'm thinking, well, no, you disappointed me there, sir.
There's a lot of talk about the shaft because, like, he hit one left, and I think it was Faldo, one of the commentators, was like, "Oh well, look, yeah, if he had a normal shaft in there with a bit more whip in it, that would have went straight into the ocean. But look, he's just inside the out of bounds posts." It's like, and then it was all to the talk of the Autoflex.
Yeah, but it's interesting. And I know this is probably the third time we've mentioned Chris Hansen, but he gives some good insights on his interview. He's talking about the change in equipment, and it's those statistics from the Sony Open when Adam Scott, he didn't put so well that week, but those statistics have proven that he's a good driver of the ball. So why is he putting the Autoflex in? It's new technology. I'm not doubting that he won't have tested it, because he will have tested it, but I'm just thinking it's quite a big change. And if he had his old driver in the bag, his putt-in was much better this week. Could he have went on to win it? He finished 7 under, tied 10th. Probably would never have caught Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed finished what?
Well, if he'd have been disqualified, then he might have caught him.
There you go. Yeah, can't get disqualified if you don't cheat, though.
No, yeah, you're right. You are right.
What's your bust?
Well, obviously my bust is Patrick Reed winning.
What a man.
It's like, it's killed me. It's just done me in, the whole thing of him.
I know.
And even watching his interviews and all the talk about him, even me having to talk about him, it's just, I just hate him, you know.
Yeah. I know you do.
It's a strong word, like.
I think we're best moving on from P. Reed before you get yourself into some trouble.
Yeah.
So birdie, bogey, bust, no interesting. I agree with them all. I do. Some very, very good stuff. So I know that we've spoken over the past couple of weeks about Ryder Cup, and we keep bringing it back into conversation. And obviously, this year we've got the Ryder Cup. We've also got the Solheim Cup for the first time ever. We've got the two team tournaments within a month of each other. So this week, as last week we spoke about the 1947 Ryder Cup, we're going to move on a year and just give a quick, brief update about the 1949 Ryder Cup and the history behind that as we move on each week.
Oh, aye.
And giving some information before we move on to the tournaments that are happening across the PGA Tour and the European Tour. So I spoke last week, didn't I, about why is it over 2 days, remember? So I was going to fact check that.
Yeah.
Trying to understand it. Well, it's because it's just over 12 points. So they have the 4 foursome matches, and then they have 8 singles matches. That's all they had back then.
Ah, right.
Whereas now they've got 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, then 4 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, then 8 singles. And there's so many points that you can play. It's only a total of 12 points in total. 4 in the morning, 4 on day 1, and then 8 singles matches in day 2. The match was much closer in the 47 Ryder Cup than it was the 49 Ryder Cup, but the USA did win again 7-5. But what's interesting, it was GB and Ireland, because it wasn't Europe back then; it was just Great Britain and Ireland. They were leading 3-1 after the first foursomes, but then got tonked 6-2 in the singles.
Yeah.
It
was just after Hogan's car crash.
Yeah, because he was a non-playing captain, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Ben Hogan was the captain, but it's easy to see why the American team won the singles. Players like Sam Snead and Jimmy, 3-time Masters champion Jimmy, 3-time. I
feel like I'm just turning into Bruce Almighty there when he puts the teleprompter.
Jimmy Demaret, there we go. Put my teeth back in. Jimmy Demaret, 3-time Masters champ. And Sam Snead played in the USA team. But there was a few major champions on the GB and Ireland team as well. Fred Daly, Dick Burton, and Max Faulkner all won the Open.
All well-known players.
All won the Open.
Yeah. I've just never heard of them, mate. I honestly believe that the reason that the USA team won that year was because they brought half a ton of meat to England and it made all the headlines.
Is that what they done? Half a ton of meat. For what purpose, though?
It just says the US team's decision to bring half a ton of meat to England made the headlines.
Is that Ganton Golf Club as well?
You know, I like to just put the randomest facts in there, don't you?
You do. Ganton Golf Club.
After we played there, haven't we?
Well, I've played there. Wasn't that a collegiate tour event at Myerscough? You're a prospect boy, weren't you?
I was, yeah. But now you're collegiate. You'd be collegiate now, wouldn't you?
I am collegiate.
I mean, you'd be prospects now.
No, I wouldn't. Still 5. I'd just be in single figures. What was you off back in the day? About 10 or 12?
I was about 12. Yeah, something mad.
Yeah. No, we did play Ganton. Lovely course. I like Ganton. Yeah. But anyway, that's obviously we'll get more into it as the years progress, and there's more to get into. But we're just trying to build up a story ready for the Ryder Cup, and just keep it relevant each week.
No, of course, yeah. Hey, just bouncing back to Adam Scott there. Remember, we were looking at the telly the other day and said, where's Steve Williams gone off Adam Scott's bag?
Yeah.
he left in 2017.
That's brilliant.
Sick, isn't it? Went to Danielle Kang, and now it says employer Jason Day for some reason. That's on Wiki.
Yeah, he's on Jason Day's bag. Did you know that?
No, obviously not.
Me neither.
Just seeing that DiCaprio face come out there.
Right then, let's get into it. Golf this week. Some stellar.
Whoa. Just before we move on the Ryder Cup here, yeah, Padraig Harrington could basically pick himself, couldn't he, the way he's playing at the minute?
Oh my God, yeah. Every round under par this week he was.
Yeah. Well, did you see when Tiger Woods was the President's Cup captain? There was an interview after he won the Zozo, and they were like, so Tiger, like, what do you think about, like, obviously you're captain and you're a player, like, what are the odds on, like, picking yourself sort of thing? And Tiger's sitting there the way he is, and he goes, yeah, well, the player certainly caught the captain's attention. I was just like, that is a gangster comment there.
He's the man.
But so obviously Harrington could be in the same predicament, couldn't he, really, if he keeps having a storm and he's in the right things?
Well, he's had one good week. Come on, Kev.
Yeah, you never know. But it's just a few interesting things that Harrington actually said. He said, if a guy's a good ball striker and shoots 67 and a guy that isn't a good ball striker and shoots 66, he said, I'm taking the 66. He said, just let your scores do the talking. And he said, I don't care about personality. And I sort of disagree with both of them comments, because I'm like, the better ball striker is like the guy who shoots 66. The better ball striker is going to be better under pressure and have a more like better approach to a team game in the foursomes and different things. You know what I mean? And the personalities like Poulter shining through it on the Ryder Cup, and like Mollywood that like we had when Tommy and Eduardo and stuff. And Francesco, sorry.
That's what I was going to say.
Eduardo, yeah. What, lads?
Fact check. Where you going there?
And Francesco, little bromance, and that, you know what I mean? It just helped the buzz of the Ryder Cup. So,
no, team sport's so much different than individual, isn't it? Because you say
exactly,
you've got people to carry you. So that person who shoots that 67 instead of a 66, that one shot, couple of shots, it doesn't really make a difference in team sport, because as long as you're shooting in the 60s and you're playing well, your partner's going to bring you on anyway, and you're going to be in a good. I agree with you. Yeah, it's a bit of.
So judging on them comments, I think we're going to get a pasting.
I can't wait for it.
But yeah, no, just thought to jump onto that while we were on the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
So on to next week's golf then.
Yeah. So we'll start with the Waste Management Phoenix Open. Yeah. The People's Open.
The People's Open, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Swafford come on, didn't he, and said that in that week alone, there was some statistic about they sell more Bud Light or Coors Light, was it? On that tournament than they do with some baseball game. I don't know what the team was.
That.
Unbelievable.
Here's one for like, have you ever remember the MasterCard advert? And it goes
Which
like
one?
So like getting invited to the Waste Management by Hudson Swafford, like so whatever, 14-hour flight, £500. Like 4-star hotel, £134 a night. Actually being there in 2021, priceless.
Oh,
I've priced it up.
How much?
Well, 514 for the flight and 134 quid a night for the hotel, and then get Swafty to try and get us in.
Swafford's getting us tickets.
I reckon we do it under $1,000 if we wanted to be legends and we leave tomorrow.
Okay, let's jump on a plane, get it booked, and let's go. But to be fair though, they are having fans. They've maxed it out at 5,000.
Yeah,
5,000 fans a day. So Swafford again saying around and said 180,000 fans. You get there throughout the week, so you're only getting 20,000 max over the 4 days. So but you've then 5,000 people. If they just all congregate on the 16th on the par 3, you could get a bit of action there.
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually probably, I know you say it looks boss with the atmosphere, but sometimes with too many people, it is a bit moody, isn't it? So if there is less people, it could be more of still the same buzz, but less people. So you got more interaction and more, you can move around, get a bevy. I can't imagine getting a bevy quick at that 16th, can you?
Like being at a festival, won't it?
Exactly, yeah.
Trying to get the toilet, yeah. No, I do. I totally agree, yeah. But, again, stellar cast performing there. Favourite, John Ram. Got to be John Ram. Reasons, going to be a tough one to beat, not only because of his quality, but he loves it round TPC Scottsdale. His scoring average 68.25 round that course.
Yeah. It's just going to be weird to look at the leaderboard and not see Hovland and Finau up in the top 5, isn't it?
Well, we'll see them in the Saudi, so hopefully we'll see them in the morning. We'll catch them in the morning.
Here's one for you, right? To test your knowledge. This might just be one of them where you'd be like, obviously I knew that, but do you know what TPC stands for?
The Players Club.
The Players Club. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's for final answer, yeah.
Tournament Players Club.
Tournament Players Club. Right, there we go. I knew it was Sutton Players Club.
I thought you'd nailed it there.
nearly got it.
Good
yeah.
though.
Justin Thomas as well. He's had a week off playing with the bomber, Kyle Berkshire.
Yeah, seeing that, like he was.
Yeah.
Why are they all bumming him?
I don't know. Just going for a little knock. He wants to get on the PGA Tour. I don't know. Just no idea.
Is he having a go? Is he?
So he said. I think he said on a couple of his posts. He says he wants to be a pro and he wants to get wants to try and get on tour and things. So, you know what I mean?
I think he's going to be another Mo Norman, and Happy Gilmore just coming on and just getting bullied off the PGA Tour.
Definitely. But yes, but again, Justin Thomas had plenty of good finishes. I think last couple of times he's been there, he's finished in the top 3, maybe third twice. I know last year he finished third. And Webb Simpson, defending champ. He won it last year. Guess who come second last year?
Tony Finau.
Yeah. Brilliant. Tony Finau second last year. Yeah, but other notables there: Xander Schauffele, Rory McIlroy, Jordan Spieth, we spoke about before. Hopefully, see him have a good tournament. Matthew Wolf, Brooks Koepka. So
Wolf, he's got a little shocker in him, hasn't he?
He has, yeah, he has. If he's off,
he's got a shocker in him. It's frightening, really.
Yeah, if he's off, he's off.
Yeah.
Really interesting, but it's sometimes you get that, don't you? After the postseason, they work on different changes. It takes a couple of weeks for them to get into it. Dustin Johnson was exactly the same. Come shooting in 79s, 80s, and the Memorial and things like that, and then he comes back and wins the lot and looks unstoppable. So maybe he's just going through a swing change, or maybe he's doing a Jordan Spieth. We never know.
Yeah, imagine that. Like that one comment was just the demise of Thomas.
7,261 yards to compete with this week. TPC Scottsdale, par 71, and as we know, the standout hole, the par 3 16th, measures about 160 odd yards.
Yeah, it's one of them. Maybe not getting so much booed and that if you miss the green. That like this, there's only 5,000 fans there.
Yeah, you'll still get booed. Don't
I love all the caddy races and stuff and everything. Like, seeing Ricky Fowler, you're going, Big Dick Rick.
And he just nods, and he nods his head, gives his head a little, his hat a little nod. Yeah, brilliant. You've got to love that though, haven't you? Because again, it just goes back to, they talk about the way golf has been over the years, and now you've got that type of tournament which brings the fans and brings it a bit more electric and a bit more interaction. Then you've got the clothing range now where you've got wearing hoodies. It's nice. It's nice to see the sort of turn of events, isn't it? We're getting more.
Was it interesting that Hull mentioned about the dress code maybe attracting more women to the game?
Yeah, it's a fair point. It is, and that game's growing. That game's growing bigger than any tour, isn't it? The LPGA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, right then, Saudi International. this is where we'll be focusing our order of merit picks. But let's.
How hard were them pots to pick from, man?
I know. They were ridiculous.
Obviously we'll come on to the picks in a minute, but I've gone for the alliteration again, but then I hit a stumbling block. I'll show you in a sec.
Fair enough. Okay, so this is only the third year of the Saudi International. Played at the Royal Greens Golf and Country Club. Last year, winner won by Graham McDowell, second place DJ, and then in its first year, DJ stomped it home and won there. So he's there again this week.
Yeah,
the 2020 Masters champ.
With the big fella as well.
The 2020 US Open champ, Bryson DeChambeau. So it's quite a strong field come over from the PGA Tour this week, isn't it? You've got your mate Patrick Reed coming over. Hovland, Finau, Ante, Cochrane, Kevin Na, Phil Mickelson.
I'll tell you what, I was just about to say that. Kevin Na's making some journey, man, to get over, isn't he?
What a man. What a journey, man.
Hey, did you see last time Bryson was there? He looked like a toothpick, didn't he?
Oh, no, I've not seen the picture. Yeah,
have you seen a picture of him a couple of years back? Like, last time he was there, honestly, he looks like a driver shaft compared to what he looks like now.
Unrecognisable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, as you say, loads of big boys coming over. It's Hatton making his debut as well.
Yeah. Hatton's
first time he's played there.
Well, the Paul Casey's staying. We spoke about that earlier. It's his debut too. He's doing it for the right reasons, like we spoke about before.
Yeah.
I'm sure you are, Paul.
Well done, Paul.
And then you've got Tommy's there. Just the usual cast on the European tour that you would expect to be there.
Of course, yeah. But it's just it was very, very difficult picking. I can't get over how hard it was to pick him.
I know. And I know. That's what's so good about this order of merit, though. We'll come on to that next. Just before we do, just again, some information on the course. Measures 7,010 yards. It's a par 70, so not the longest, but obviously with the par 70, the last hole 607 yard par 5 on the 18th. So expect some drama there if it's a.
Hey, they love a last hole par 5 in the Middle East, don't they?
I was thinking the exact same thing. Every hole's par 5 finish, isn't it, with some water there? Right. So before we do the pick, should we do an order of merit update first about how everything's going? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then we'll move on to our picks. Briefly,
because people can just look at that on the socials, can't they?
Yeah, it's fine. So, new rule was implemented this week. Yeah. Jazzy J missed the.
I implemented that rule, and because I didn't want to be horrible to our Liam, because he was the first one to notice that Andrew Johnson wasn't on. He's like, "Father Mayor, they've picked a player that's not playing." And I was like, "What?" Found out he had COVID, so we brought the COVID rule in, and then I picked Jazzy Jane.
And it's worked out in your favour, yeah.
Jumping on me, getting 25 points minus.
Minus 20 it is, isn't it? We've
minus 20, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so Jazzy J got replaced, Julian Guerrera.
Yeah. Didn't exactly do any good, did he?
No, it wasn't 21's advantage, but at least you're getting no points instead of minus 20. There was a minus 20 though. Robert Rock, he did withdraw, and he was the most popular pick in pot 4 as well. So a minus 20 for a lot of players this week. One player in particular picked Robert Rock and had 3 missed cuts. We got minus 50 for the week. It's a smelly one, that.
Who was that?
That was Jono.
Jono, man.
Jono, yeah. But he had a good start, 30 points. 30 points in the first week. So it's not absolutely crucified him because he's on minus 20 now, but the leaders are on 87 and 85 or points or so. So
but we've got the highest points.
Well, top scorer was Ryan. He got 3 top 10 finishes and a made cut from pot 4. And it was Dean Berminster in pot 4 that got him who made the cut. And he got a bonus 5 points as well. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was for, but for one of the statistics, it might have been tee to green. So yeah, he got 65 points. So it was 115 points difference between the worst point scorer. So it's never over. You never
honestly, man, like unless you're 500 points ahead,
you're never safe.
You just don't know, do you?
You could be flying all these weeks and then you just get it with a couple of withdrawals or they all miss the cut and then before you know it, you're back down in the middle of the pack. Nah. And it's the same for the people at the bottom of the pack as well. At any point they can just turn it round and then
I don't know if people are going to be responding well to the volatility or what.
Well, there's nothing you can do about it.
We'll have to do a little poll.
Yeah, see if they like it. Well, it doesn't matter if they like it or not. There are rules.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but if everyone stops playing, then it should be me against you.
Then we've got a problem. And it does become their problem, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about me and you, I beat you this week by 2 points.
Well,
I beat you by 2 points this week.
That's probably the first time you beat me in this since we started, isn't it?
All right.
All right.
You had 2 made cuts and 2 missed cuts, but then you got 3 bonus points for Fitzpatrick. He comes second in the putting statistics. Yeah. And then I scored 15 points in total. I had 1 made cut, 1 top 10, and 2 missed cuts.
Who was your top 10?
Adri Arnous.
Arnous, yeah.
Off the top of my head. Yeah, I think it was him, yeah. So you're on 18 points ahead of me going into week 3. So you've got an 18-point lead, which
honestly, I'm not even talking about lead until it's a couple of hundred.
And then you're still not safe,
Yeah.
Right then, who have you gone for this week? You go first. Pot 1.
But I done it backwards, me.
What do you mean?
So because I went to pot 4 first to pick from there.
Oh, so that's why you want to do it now?
Well, yeah, just because I'm going to work out. I'm going to tell you my mentality and why I'm angry.
Let's hear your mentality.
So I picked Victor Dubuisson.
Yeah.
Dubuisson, however you say it.
Yeah.
Thomas Detry.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'll pick DJ. And then I was like, right, all it like D. And then there's no D's in pot 2. So right. I pissed Ross McGowan.
Any picks for any particular reason other than
not one?
The D's.
Just because they had D's in them.
How on earth do you finish above me in this? I will never ever know.
Because I've realised when I put a load of thought into it, it fucks up. So I thought I'm going to go with a different approach. Next week I'm going for the alliteration, like Luke List.
Right.
Right.
There's a bit of backstory to mine. So Dustin Johnson. Pretty sure a lot of people are going to pick him. Previous winner in the first tournament 2019 and finished second last year to Graham McDowell. Pot number 2, Andy Sullivan. Don't know if you missed him in pot 2 there.
I just think, I don't know, Ross McGowan stood out to me the most. So
Andy Sullivan can go low. We've all seen him. He's won multiple times the European Tour, and he's made the last 2 cuts as well. So it's not just about the wind; it's the cuts and where they position and how you get the points. So my next one is risky. It's very risky, very, very risky. Gavin Green, I've gone for. He finished 3rd last year, and he made the cut last week. But his 3rd round score last week was an 83. So he's got an 83 in him.
He's got an 83 in him.
An 83 in him. Yeah, he shot 83 on the 3rd round last week in the Omega Dubai. So risky, but he's familiar with performing well.
Speaking of mindset, what are you thinking after an 83? Like when you made the cut in the fucking desert, do you know what I
mean? He's made the cut and he's finished +9 for the tournament.
Jesus.
Yeah, not one to remember for Gavin, but hopefully he turns it round. And Dean Bearmister, we've mentioned him just before, one of the top point scorers last week. Well, he finished 11th here last year, and he's played well. Last week finished 35th. And the Omega Dubai Desert Chat, and he comes from pot 4. So I'm quietly confident this week with me picks. I've put some thought into it, and I think I'm going to rise to the top.
Opposite of what I've done then.
Pretty much, yeah. So I think we'll know.
Hey, is Gavin a popular Malaysian name? Is it or what?
No idea.
Gav. You just don't picture them being called Gav, do you?
No, definitely not. But yeah, so that's another very, very talkative, interesting week.
I've just thought about my whole alliteration thing of picking Dustin Johnson. He's Johnson, so it just kills off the whole thing anyway. So
D's his first name. You probably just said DJ and thought there's a D.
I thought DJ, Detry, Dubuisson, and then McGowan.
I know you probably don't want to take my advice, but my advice to you would be just try and spend more than 2 minutes looking at your picks next week, yeah?
I made that. Do you know, I went blind looking at them.
Did you, yeah?
Oh, mate.
Just couldn't think about it.
I was on them. I had the picks up next to Paddy Power because the odds don't reflect the pots. Honestly, mate, you don't understand what's went into this.
Yeah. The pots don't reflect we can't have favourites and then write the way down. No, it's not the way we do it.
Well, that's what I mean. So you someone in your pot like that Dubuisson could be like say 50 to 1, whereas Detry could be 150 to 1.
Yeah.
And McGowan could be less, or like it doesn't go in order of ranking. Do you know what I mean? The bookies are more on it than the rankings.
No, we've based it on categorization, where your categories are on the European Tour. So how you get into that tournament based on what you've done in the past. So it's not about how you're playing in current form. It's about how you've played in your career.
Yeah, exactly.
So, there's a bit more.
Hopefully, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Can't wait for it to start. To be honest, want to see a big DJ teeing her up again.
I know DJ Bryson, the first time they've both been back since Hawaii, had a bit of a break, haven't they? So be interesting to see what's gone on there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Across both tours again, the Waste Management. Yeah. Can't wait. Stellar cast, as we say every week. Stellar cast.
As always, yeah.
I've enjoyed it, mate. Yeah, really enjoyed it. And keep a lookout on the socials. We'll be releasing Hudson Swafford and Charlie Hull over the next couple of weeks. And like we mentioned before, if you do enjoy what we're doing, become a Patreon member, support the podcast. We'd really appreciate it. And as I say, once this lockdown is over and we can get back on the golf course, that's exactly what we'll be doing. We'll be getting some golf content. We've got some plans of interviewing and playing rounds with which I'd say non-golfers but influential people. Just to mix it up a bit, and they'll be
bring
really
something a bit different to the table. Do you know what I mean? While reviewing a few courses and doing it, like we've got things in the pipeline, haven't we? As we always say.
We are. It's just difficult with COVID, but as I say, your support's greatly appreciated. If you want to get onto Patreon, just have a look out on our social media posts, and you'll be able to see some information on where to go to and how to sign up. And again, thanks.
That's it.
Thanks for listening. As always, we hope you've enjoyed the podcast, and we'll catch you next week.
Ciao.
A bit of a helping breeze right here, so. Oh, we topped it. He cold topped it. Okay. Try to get up. Yeah. 8 iron. Oh, we shanked it. Oh, look at that line, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, is he out of sync.